Last July, John Isner became the first player to win 4 titles in Newport. Look who's there. Most importantly, it's his first title since becoming a father. Hunter Grace made an appearance on court with John's wife, Maddie, after the match. And since then, the Isners have welcomed a son, John Hobbs, to the world as well. That was a beautiful moment. As we welcome the top-ranked American man, John Isner, along with Prakash here on TC Live. John, it is great to see you. How are you doing? Little time off, more time to spend with the family.
Yeah, exactly. We all have this, forced time off right now. And for us tennis players, it's a weird situation to be in, no doubt. But, you have to make the most of this time. And for me, spending a lot of time with my family and a lot of time at home, which is sort of nice because, as you know, we travel so much. It's nice to be home and be present with the family as much as I possibly can.
John, I got a question, man. Look, we're obviously also regimented on the road, being athletes and so forth. Now we're at home during this quarantine time. It's kind of tough to find a sense of normalcy and like a routine. What does your daily day look like right now?
Yeah, well, look, I'm training. I haven't been hitting many balls, but I'm lifting as much weights as I can. I'm able to get into a gym. I have weights at my home for one, and I can get into a gym by myself and work out. And on top of that, I'm riding the bike a lot. I have 2 bikes at home when it's really hot. In Dallas, I wheel it outside in my backyard and break in good sweat that way. And I also have a Peloton as well. So for me, I've always needed to keep myself in really good shape, and I'm using this time right now to try to get, I guess, fully healthy and really, really strong.
Have you managed to hit any tennis balls, or are you kind of using this period just to take a break from swinging the racket?
I've hit a few times. I've practiced with my wife, Maddie, a handful of times. We're actually about to go hit here in about 30, 45 minutes. Of course, we go to a friend's house who has a court and get out in the sun, get some vitamin D. But I really think I'm going to start ramping it up. In May. Obviously, the best case scenario for our season is to start in mid-July. So I'm going to plan as if that's the case and try to get myself ready for that.
Obviously, John, no sports during this time, any sports. I mean, you're a huge sports fan. You got Georgia football. You got the Carolina Panthers, Carolina Hurricanes, all this stuff. Nothing to watch right now. How are you handling the lack of sports in your life?
I tell you what, it's been tough. I'm trying to read, watching Netflix, which I generally don't do because the TV always has sports on. This time of year is my favorite time of year because I'm generally always home. Right now in late April, the NBA playoffs are on, the NHL playoffs are on, and I try to get as much sports that I can watch on TV before I go to Europe. But as you know, we're all without that now. We all miss sports a lot, and everyone wants us to get back to a sense of normalcy here, where you can watch that on TV and us tennis players can get on the court and play.
All right, you always use that hashtag keep pounding like the Carolina Panthers, John. They've got the 7th pick in the draft. Who are they taking? Why? And tell us maybe a little insight into how you could be participating in that draft.
Well, yeah, I've become good friends with Jordan Gross, who's a former tackle for the Panthers for a long time, and he works for the team. So he asked me, I got my dog here. He asked me to if I wanted to participate on a Skype call during the first round. So we haven't ironed out the details yet, but it looks like I'm going to do that. I guess they're trying to get a lot of. I don't consider myself a celebrity, but I know Steph Curry is going to do it as well, and he's a pretty big name. So I'm glad to be a part of that. So I think that's going to be cool. But 7th pick, we'll see what they do. I'd like to see them take, the best player available. If I was drafting, that's what I would do, and I'd love to see the wide receiver from Alabama come to town, Jerry Jeudy, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. They might go with that defensive tackle from Auburn. So we'll see what happens.
John, obviously with, football, and I know you're a wrestling fan as well, and you were so amazing in college tennis. You're a huge atmosphere guy. Now, you played in front of some incredible crowds. What are your thoughts on possibly coming back and maybe having to play at least for a portion of the tour without any spectators in the stands?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good question. And you did mention I'm a big wrestling fan, and tell you one thing, watching WrestleMania with no fans in the crowd was very, very weird. I mean, when you watch WrestleMania, it's always a huge spectacle, and they were going to have 75,000 fans there, and they had none. And they're, doing it inside their little training arena in Orlando. But if that's the case, all of us players are going to be ready for it. Of course, it's going to be different, but I'd rather play with no fans than not play at all. Of course, that the day will come when we can get our great fans back into the stadiums and we can play in front of some great atmospheres, but that might not be for a while.
Rather play with no fans than not play at all. The sentiments of John Isner here. And John, obviously the Olympics were postponed until next year. You have been ranked in the top 20 in the world 10 straight years. I don't think enough people give you credit for that. Still the top-ranked American man and going. Would the Summer Olympics fit into your schedule in 2021?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know yet. Of course, I mean, it's a huge bummer to see that the 2020 games got pushed back a year, but it was the right call. There's no doubt about that. As you know, the tennis schedule is slam packed, and I love playing in the summer in the United States. So I'm going to cross that bridge when it comes. I haven't really thought about the 2021 Olympics right now. That's something that, as it gets closer, maybe once this year starts coming to an end, I will be thinking about that. But as of right now, I can't give you a definitive answer on that.
John, we've seen so many changes and there's been so many challenges for so many people at all different ends of the spectrum. But Novak has brought up a really interesting idea, an initiative to be able to put together some funding with the tournaments and with the players for the ones that really need it. What are your thoughts on what he's proposed?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm on the player council, so we were all on a conference call when that idea was proposed, and it's something that the majority of players ranked in the top 100 approve of, and it's something that we're all happy to do. And I think Novak should get a lot of credit for really leading the charge on this, and of course Roger and Rafa as well. To have those three guys on the 10-man player council on our side is very, very cool. So look, we're trying to iron out all the details. Of course, we're trying to get the money from the tournament side, from the Grand Slam side as well. And we're trying to create a fund that can help the players who are really struggling during this time. Because, of course, guys like Novak and Roger and Rafa, they're doing just fine. But we all realize that the tour is more than just a handful of players, and we got to help everyone out.
Well, John, it is absolutely fantastic to see you. Stay healthy, stay safe, give our best to the family, and enjoy that hit with Maddie later this afternoon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I love John.